Also, we like to every now and then talk about this thing called the Goldilocks approach to coronavirus. You know, where it's too hot, it's too cold, or it's just right. Well, a perfect example of this played out in Queensland today as the parliament is starting to resume after Labor's thumping win and a reshuffle that meant the doctor of politics is now no longer the health minister, the former attorney general, whose last act as attorney general was to try to introduce laws to make it illegal for me to tell you if somebody on the ballot was facing corruption charges. You know, real improvement there. But the Whitsundays MP, who's a newly elected LNP member, asked a reasonably sensible question, which is why are there no limits on the number of people who can fly to Queensland in a plane, but there is a limit on the number of people who can go on a boat once you get to Queensland? Here's the question.
A question to the Health Minister. With reference to tourism jobs, will the Minister table the COVID health advice that says tourists can fly to Queensland in a plane that's 100% full, but can't go on a charter boat that is only 50% full?
And consulting the Goldilocks book, where you simply make things up as being not too cold, not too hot, and what's just right. How's this for the official position in, yet again, another state that has allegedly eliminated the virus?
Planes have allocated seating per individual in which we know every single person and where they sit, and they're able to be contact traced.
Boats are floating things that are surrounded by water, that if their passengers stepped off the boat, they would fall into the water and die. It can be done. That you can keep the names, addresses and details of every person who walks onto the boat, Minister. This stuff is ridiculous. And while those that are in their full-time public service jobs that are never affected by coronavirus restrictions, the people who have had to miss out on school holiday after long weekend, after winters, who are now getting people back from December the 1st, are still being treated as if the virus is around every corner. Contact tracing is key, which means you get a thing called a QR code. Everyone who gets onto the boat has to take a photo, register that they're on the boat. That's contact tracing. It is no different than what is happening on planes. And I would say the amateur epidemiologist in all of us would think that being able to socially distance on a boat for hours and hours in the sun is a little bit different than being forced to sit like this for 90 minutes, 2 hours, or even further if you're coming from Perth.